Come on. Yep, it says up here. All right, let's just post it. See what happens. I gotta pick a community and then we can go live. I gotta fix it. It's important, real important. It's recording a missing person, and last number I had her at. I'll show you in a second. Two things I'm looking for. This number I called a little while ago. I spoke to somebody. He was going to help me find my missing daughter. Don't want to make him look bad. He said, anyway, talk about putting me in touch with somebody with 57 acres. It would be good for the town. And power. Well, on my way to call him back. I'm waiting. I'm watching the news. And, it's I keep hearing things like you're being threatened. Like, we're going to get you. I'm going to get you. Going to get you. I'm like, okay, I'm watching Haystack News on Roku. So I decided to call this guy back up. Is he still threatening? Is he threatening me? What's going on? I don't understand. Because weird things happen in this town. So he says, I call back and the number's gone. No longer available, no longer accessible, his phone number. It's the same number I just spoke. I spoke to him like a half an hour ago. So I was wondering if you could tell me how I could find the location of his phone, who's it registered, where they're at, what's going on.
All right, so for this one, then your concern is for the location of the phone number. It seems that we don't have the tools here to be able to track that kind of concern.
Well, how do you track a number somebody who's just using if you're the provider?
All right, so for this one, may I ask if using your phone will you be able to track or use your GPS to track the phone number or the phone itself?
Okay, how do I do that? Like, I could just put in a phone number that has a GPS related to it that is your phone. The number is 619-468-3622. And I also want to give you the missing daughter's number to track. She's a teenager. Last location known was in Del Mar, Southern California, Carmel Valley. I can give you that number in just a second. I got to go through a lot of papers here to get to it. But that's the most important one, is to find this person, because that was the daughter's last known number. So this is a Cherry Hill department. Still not found the number. Got a lot of papers to go through here. Shouldn't be much longer. What's your name, sir? What's your name?
My name is Chris.
Chris, and you are an operator with Straight Talk Wireless?
Yep.
Check. Okay, Chris. Wow, it's hard to find this number here. Let's go back even further. Hold on, getting there. Here it is, 858-668-8085. Last known number of Deanna Canter, Kanter. Date of birth 7/29/2003. She's in the NCIC database as missing.
All right, so let's just go ahead and take note of that here. Give me one moment.
All right, Chris. What number of phone call is this? Jeez, goodness. $21. Let's go with 21. Let's call it 22. This is Chris at Straight Talk Wireless. I gave him the numbers. Nice guy. Sounds like a good guy. He's going to help me find a location of these phones right now. They probably have a SIM inside for GPS tracking. Missing person in the system. I mean, I paid a lot for this service over the years,
All right, so thank you very much for patiently waiting. So upon checking it here with my resources and my tools here on my end, it seems that I will not be able to help you properly. So what I'll do is that I'll transfer you to the department who will be able to assist you further on locating the phone numbers, okay?
You transfer me to where? Where?
To our corp department.
Corp department. Okay, how are they going to help me? If you can't.
So since they have more advanced tools here in my system compared to my system, and they have much more resources, information on how to solve issues, that is why I need to escalate this call to them.
All right, let's do that. Stay on the line until I get somebody, okay?
Oh, so just
stay on the line until I get somebody.
this call will
Hey, hold on. Listen to me. Do me a favor. You guys can transfer, but you can stay on a line. Everybody does it while I'm waiting to hear from somebody. If you transfer me to a dead end, there's gonna be, it's gonna get ugly.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about this one, since I will connect this call directly to them. Okay, so just stay on the line.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right, and for this, once again, thank you for calling Straight Up Wireless. You have a good and wonderful day ahead.
What? Don't hang up.
Setting a date.
All of our customer care representatives are assisting other customers.
He just
Instead of
transferred me.
continuing to
Disappeared.
hold, you can receive
Lied.
a call back from the next available customer care representative
Yep, he's gone.
between 5 and 7
661 is
minutes
tapping.
from now. You will not lose your turn if you choose to use this service. To receive a call back, press 1. To remain on hold, press 3.
We wait on 3.
Please hold for the next available customer care representative. The current hold time is between 5 and 7.
And it just disconnected at 19 minutes into the system, into the call. And 19 minutes hung up. Hung up on me. Straight talk, supposedly. Yeah, what do? We call Lyndhurst Police Department, say, look, I got a couple numbers. Yep, straight talk hung up at me. What am I going to do? 201. I don't fucking remember. That's all I remember. Yeah, for a second. It came right back. I just asked for it. Like a fucking computer. It
You
takes
have
a
reached
while
the
to dig it up.
Lyndhurst Police Department. If this is an emergency or you wish to speak to a police officer, press 1. If you know your party's extension...
Yep, let's see what they say this time.
Lyndhurst Police Officer Jan Druso.
Hi, Officer Jan Geruso. I think I met with your with the mayor, Jan Geruso. Are you the same guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you sound younger than a guy I met with a hat in the office over there. Officer Jan Geruso. I know it says Mayor Jan Geruso in the police department at the glass door there. When you get in there. Yeah. I was trying to report Murphy a while ago, and you guys kicked me out, so I couldn't report that he committed a crime. Supposed to be able to assemble, can't shut down the gyms. So anyway, I left. Big Red threatened me. I left. Okay, so long story short, trying to find missing child. She's in the system. I got on the phone with Captain Romero Crawford out in California. He was going to help me find her. He's a retired Navy SEAL. And, he killed people in the war in Vietnam, and he wants a better deal. And I understand. He had some hardship with the IRS. He's really mad that I was making more money than him when I showed up. I ran off with his mistress, I guess you would call it. His wife seemed pretty upset about it. Anyway, I've been harassed. My kid went missing after all of this. So I got, he's got a lot of connections. It seems like he can mess with my computer. He can mess with the TVs. He can mess with my phones. It's really hard to try. I finally got a hold of him, right? I spoke to him. He said, we got to get Annette. That's his wife's secretary. Well, I called her. Phone's not good. He said I could call her. You don't answer. I told me to text her, and then they'd go back and forth and then get to me some stuff, and everything would be legal, and then we can move forward, sort of. Well, I'm still waiting to hear from my daughter. And I call Annette, no answer. I text her, no response. I call back Captain. The phone's no longer available. It says star 611 if you want customer service on his phone, on the phone that's supposedly, I'm just waiting for ringing, and it comes in and says star 611. I do it. It says for customer service, which is very odd. It's his number. And then I just spoke to him on that number. Now it comes, I'm on hold, waiting 12 minutes or so. Somebody gets on by the name of Chris. He says, well, I can't do anything. There's GPS tools you can use at corporate, advanced tools. They're more more resources there to track it. I gave him both numbers. Deanna Cantor, missing in the NCIC system, and date of birth 7/29/2003. Captain Romero Crawford's number I gave to. And last time I called the number for Deanna Cantor, someone answered the phone finally and said their name was Justin. I told them I was Cherry Hill Department. I'm just tracking, got to do what I got to do. Lie to suspects to get them. Anyway, he's texting me. I got a text thread. He's like, "What, bro?" So sounded like a young black teen, maybe early 20s. And it sounded like somebody was whispering in the car. Like, I'm thinking in my head, maybe Deanna's in this car. That's her new boyfriend. She doesn't realize she's abducted. And she's like hiding under the covers or something. Why would she be doing that? I don't know. They scared her for some reason. He tells me on the phone, going back a little bit, that Captain Crawford said, he's starting to spill his guts, it seems. I got him. And he's like on a mountain, on the other side of the mountain in a cabin. And then he said, first he said Philadelphia, then I got him to say it on the other side of the mountain. Yeah, I said, you gave me your blessing. He goes, oh, I never gave you a blessing to get with Tia, which was the girl I ran off with. He sold me the rings. I go, you sold me the rings. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know how much they're worth now? Whatever. So, seems like he's still upset and continuing to withhold my daughter. Possibly has Tia trapped. I asked her if you're trapped. She said, sorta. Her kids are gone. Caught Tia in several lies on she's the mistress. Anyway, so I have information that Straight Talk has capability to GPS to find where that phone is, where it was last at. He probably chucked it. Or he still got it, and he's got some kind of way to avert the system and forward calls, because I'm pretty sure he's intercepted calls in the past. Who's the person
you're looking for? That's your daughter, you said?
My daughter is Deanna Cantor. Yeah, that's who we're looking for.
And where was the phone?
When I called it popped up saying Poway, California.
I wouldn't be able to help you here for something like that. You have to call over there.
Call who? San Diego Police Department?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Janjaruso. Hey, could you do me a favor?
Maybe do like a welfare check for you,
Yeah, the only thing that a little concerning to me is he said, where you at? I said, Jersey. Yeah, he says, I was hoping maybe we'll have to get together. You come over for dinner. Before he knew where I was at. I said, because he thought maybe I was in town, which I might get on a plane and go over there. You know what I'm saying? Just find out. Put on my hiking gear and go check over the mountain. That's what I would do. Probably get some eyeballs on it from like a drone first to see what his situation is like, because the man's armed and dangerous. But he's a good man at times. I don't know. He says you don't want to upset the green man. You don't want him to come out. And, he's got titanium plates in his head, and he's upset that I ran off with his woman. It seemed like a good guy. But could be a whole kidnapping ring. He could be bullshitting me. I don't know, sir. You could be the hero. Find it out. Call up San Diego Police Department. Their general number. Tell me information I just gave you and say, well, work together.
Yeah, you would definitely have more information to tell them than I can tell you. Playing telephone with another place, definitely you lose a lot. And plus, if they have any questions, you'd be able to answer it, not me. So
you want to hang on the phone with me and we'll do a three-way?
I'm not going to be able to do that. This is an emergency line. So any other calls come in, I have to take it and dispatch people there.
Is there anybody else that could help? I mean, this is a missing teenager, missing for 6 years. I mean, her health could be.
Like I said, I would definitely call over there. If you want to report the missing, you come into our police department.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Cops try to throw me. Yeah. Cops pulled me off the front porch one day and then just threw me into a place where people stuck needles in my ass trying to punch me.
What's Deanna's date of birth?
7/29/03.
You're George? Or George, right?
Correct.
And what was the last time the phone was pinged?
I have to look at the phone. Which number? Deanna's or, huh?
Deanna.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go into the messages. 2:04 p.m. is when it looks like I made a phone call today. Nobody answered. And if I go into the messages, the last reply I got from the text, nothing's coming back yet saying the text isn't allowed. So still active, right? It seems. But I haven't tried to text today. Now I'm gonna put on these glasses, which I think somehow have the ability for abductors to be able to see what I'm looking at. Crazy sound, but this guy's got tech that he tells me exists before in the military, that exists years before anybody else knows. Mom is asking for Deanna. I told him this deal. Let's see. Last what was the question? Okay, the last response that I got was at 7:59 p.m. And it said, bro, what? Who is this? He said his name was Justin. And it looks like Friday, April 22nd, 2022 was the last text that we came back from that number. You want the number? It's 858. 858.
This is Deanna's phone number?
Yes. Last that I know of. Her mother had given me 858-668-8085.
All right, George. Let me call you right back. I'm going to call you back at the 551-223-5686 number, okay?
Okay, what's your first name, Mr. Janjarusso?
It's Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye. $23. Gonna call me right back. It's 7:03 p.m. Could have called me back. He's not the mayor. He knows the mayor says I'm Dora James Russo. Not the mayor. He's younger than the other guy with the hat. Not the mayor with the hat. Styling hat. Yeah, nice styling hat. I had a conversation. I said, we can make some money off these airplanes buzzing us. I think I'm fine. Every time you do it. We'll own all those planes. Lyndhurst will be the powerhouse. So here's the deal. You got to unplug the power cord. Because if you're plugged into the wall, they can hit it. They stopped my recording before. I'm unplugged. All right, we're going to put you back live over here till the power runs out. We'll turn it on.
Administration's handling of the crisis at the southern border. And that hearing happening right now, we're going to dip in just a moment. But Nate, first, he's not the only administration official appearing on Capitol Hill today. We're going to hear from Secretary of State Antony Blinken. He's going to field some more questions from lawmakers today. It comes after his trip to Ukraine. What stood out from his testimony so far, and what can we expect to hear? The one nearly constant question that we heard from lawmakers yesterday on both sides of the aisle to Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, was, when is the U.S. going to reestablish its diplomatic relations with Ukraine, as in put U.S. diplomats' boots back on the ground in Ukraine? Now, the vast majority of American diplomats were evacuated from Ukraine right ahead of the Russian invasion out of concerns that they could be in the line of fire or put their lives at risk. Now, some of the U.S.'s allies in Europe has returned some of its diplomats to Ukraine and to the capital city of Kyiv. Here was the Secretary's response to the question of when the U.S. will be returning its diplomats to the capital city.
The two things. We are sending diplomats back to Ukraine this week, and they will begin to assess how we can most effectively and securely reopen the embassy in Kyiv. And without going into too much detail in this setting, I anticipate that we will be in Lviv and then head to Kyiv, subject to the president's final decision on that. But we are moving forward on that. We want to have our embassy reopened, and we're working to do that.
Now, the visits from these cabinet members in the Biden administration is all part of the request for their 2023 budget. Secretary Blinken yesterday asked for additional money to counter China as well as Russia, and also gave senators an update on a controversial deal with Iran to potentially limit their nuclear weapon production. That deal, though, could be dead on arrival simply because it does not have the approval of enough Democrats. Moderate Democrats dislike it, Republicans dislike it, and so any potential deal with Iran is likely dead on arrival.
All right, Nathaniel Reed reporting for us at the Capitol. Thank you.
I'm gonna get you. Get your home safe. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, you gotta walk funny sometimes.
Welcome back, everybody. The world paid its final respects today to Madeleine Albright at the Washington National Cathedral. Albright was the country's first female Secretary of State, and 1,400 people, many of them dignitaries, attended the service today to celebrate her life and her groundbreaking legacy. Former Presidents Obama and Clinton were among those who shared tributes, and President Biden delivered a eulogy.
To Madeleine, from my perspective, there was no higher mission, no greater honor than to serve this great experiment of freedom known as the United States of America.
Cliffhanger. Nobody knows how it's going to end.
May her memory continue.
She dead or alive?
Blessing to our nation.
She dead or alive? Tell us.
And
Shake your head if she's alive. Down.
Her words and her deeds.
Ah, she's alive. That's what he said.
May she always be a light to all those in the darkest places. Reminder of our obligation to one another.
Former First Lady and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton also delivered a tribute today. She shared that she had urged her husband, former President Clinton, to nominate Albright as Secretary of State and was thrilled he was to agree to that. She also took a moment to highlight Albright's lighter side.
Yes, it's true. She did teach the foreign minister of Botswana, the Macarena, at a UN Security Council meeting and snuck off early from an official event to do the tango in Buenos Aires. She was even invited to compete on Dancing with the Stars after she tore up the dance floor at Chelsea's wedding in the arms, I would add, of a much younger, very handsome man.
Take me away.
Mrs. Clinton wearing a brooch today, much like Secretary Albright did herself for decades of service to our country. Albright died of cancer back on March 23rd.
I'm trying to get the kids back to grade. Get
84.
I might not return. Alright. Yeah, if I don't come back at a certain time, this shit's gonna blow.
A bill to revoke Disney World's special district status, but they may have forgotten a key provision that says they can't do that without paying off the company's $1 billion bond debt. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance Rick Newman, who has been following all the twists and turns of this story. Rick, explain what's going on here.
Well, Disney finally filed a statement based on this action that happened last week, and they said, well, if Florida goes through with this, and let's keep in mind, this is not supposed to go into effect until June of 2023, so more than a year from now. But they said, here would be the practical effects if Florida really wants to go through with this. There's about $1 billion in what's effectively municipal debt that Disney has issued just to fund operations in that area. And that would have to be transferred to two counties who then would have to overtake a lot of these municipal operations that Disney has been doing. So these two counties have said, we don't have the budget for that. And there's one estimate that says this would raise taxes about $250 per year per taxpayer for people in those two districts to fund the municipal activities that Disney is now doing. So when you get deeper into the analysis, it looks as if maybe this was actually working out better for local residents than it was for Disney, because Disney, in effect, was footing some of the bills for municipal services there in exchange for the autonomy to kind of govern itself. So these Florida lawmakers clearly did not think this through. Generally, it's a stupid move to try to punish any single company because it does or does not take the stance you want it to take on one political issue, which is exactly what happened here. So this is far from over. I suppose this means Disney could sue, or Disney could say, fine, we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna let you follow through on this, and then you have to deal with the taxpayers who are gonna get stuck footing the bill.
I mean, it sounds like, Rick, that is the stance Disney is taking, right? To say, look, it's fine, but you got to take on this debt. Until you do, we're going to just stay put.
Right, and the governor, the Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, he has said, don't worry, we're not going to leave Florida taxpayers stuck with the bill here. We're going to take care of this. We're going to rectify this. But he hasn't said how the government would do that. Basically, the Florida legislature would have to pass an additional law to straighten this out somehow. And even then, basically, it's as if Disney has a contract. And if they just say, no, Disney has to eat the debt somehow, then it seems that Disney could probably basically claim it's a breach of contract, and it could end up in the courts for a long time. I saw one person characterize the whole effort as the Lawyer Employment in Perpetuity Act. So what the Republicans seem to have done here is just create a legal thicket that's going to go on for some time.
It's a fascinating political battle to be watching here. Rick Newman staying on top of it for us. Thanks so much.
Yo pensaba que esto no me iba a pasar a mí. Me sentí algo, un lump en mi seno. Primero la cirugía y me hicieron radiación. Mi experiencia en San Michael ha sido muy bonita. Me tratan como familia y me dieron mucho support allá, mucho support.
Hundreds of thousands of fans will pack onto the Strip throughout the weekend to celebrate the 2022 NFL Draft.
Now, teams have been setting up for weeks, and first responders are prepared to make sure the event is a safe one. Madison Kimbrough is live on the Strip tonight with more on their plans. Madison?
Yeah, the NFL Draft is set to take place for the very first time here in Vegas. And with all that excitement comes some serious people being prepared to make sure everyone stays safe. And that's where Community Ambulance and American Medical Response of Las Vegas steps in.
We're looking at this very similar to how we look at New Year's Eve on the Strip. Ourselves, along with the NFL, their partners, as well as Clark County Fire Department. We've been meeting for several weeks now, walking through those contingencies and what that looks like.
Safety is on the minds of many as we approach one of the biggest events in Vegas this year, the 2022 NFL Draft. And with even more activity out on the Strip than usual, making sure people are aware of their surroundings is a must. Heidi Aiken plans on attending this week and says she's impressed with how fully staffed it seems so far.
I've noticed a lot of, security out here, and that makes me feel really safe, just knowing that they're out here in force and they'll keep us safe throughout the process. Just knowing they're going to be here is all that matters to me.
First responders such as Community Ambulance and AMR say they're ready, with a dispatch center and command posts in place.
In front of the red carpet, where we'll have a medical tent station along with resources, but you'll also see 2 medical tents that have been built inside the draft footprint itself.
Damon Schilling with AMR says when it comes to these draft activities, it's crucial for attendees to hydrate, as heat exhaustion, particularly for non-locals, is a concern.
It is ambient temperature hotter than where they're used to. And so when you talk, when you breathe, when you walk, when you do anything, you start to lose moisture.
It is Apple, AAPL down 12+% year to date, set to report earnings after the close on Thursday. And with it, they are expected to announce a share buyback program of nearly $90 billion. Meanwhile, some interesting news from Apple today announcing its new self-service repair online store. The program will offer more than 200 parts and tools customers can use to repair their iPhone 12, 13, and third generation SE. You will be able to fix features such as the display screen, battery, and camera. As for today's performance, you can see not much movement on this new news, but it will be an interesting day as Apple reports earnings tomorrow. I will never fix my own iPhone. No way, no how.
Forensic psychologist takes stand in Johnny Depp's defamation lawsuit against ex-wife Amber Heard. Psychologist Shannon Curry was hired by Depp's attorneys. She testified that she diagnosed Heard with borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder, and that those disorders make a person needy for attention and more predisposed to act violently against a partner.
They feel that their needs should be met when they want them met at a specific level. And if they're not, then that anger, that sense of harm causes them to react.
Curry also denied Heard's claims that she suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder from her marriage to Depp. Depp is suing Heard for libel after she wrote an op-ed piece in the Washington Post referring to herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. Depp claims it was Heard who was the abuser.
We are following a number of high-profile celebrity cases this week.
And joining us today to talk about the Depp-Heard trial and much more is legal analyst Dana Cole. Dana, thanks so much for joining us. It's good to see you again. So let's talk about the Johnny Depp. He completed his testimony in the defamation case against his ex-wife Amber Heard after several days on the stand.
Press 4. Police Record Bureau. Press 5. Firearms Application Investigation Unit. Press 6. Special Operations or Community Policing. Press 7. Police Auxiliary. Press 8. Violations. Press 9.
What time? 7:03. That's 15 minutes. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gora?
Yes.
How you doing? This is George M. Churchill. I was wondering if you guys could do a special favor for me. You guys wanted volunteers, right?
Excuse me?
You guys wanted volunteers.
Volunteers for what, sir?
For the police department.
No, we don't accept volunteers from the police department, sir.
Oh, why are the signs all over the place in the town that say we need volunteers?
Probably the emergency squad. That's the ambulance, sir.
Okay. Are you want to go get a picture of it for you? I'll go get a picture. I'll go get a picture of it for you. Yeah. But hey, I just want to notify you this because everybody's a suspect. Look, hung up on me. Go back. Fuck you.
Or you wish to speak to a police officer, press 1. If you know your party's extension, you may enter it now. Please note our menu has changed. For the Detective Bureau, press 2. Traffic Division, press 3. Police Administration Offices, press 4. Police Record Bureau, press 5. Firearms Application Investigation Unit, press 6. Special Operations or Community Policing, press 7. Police Auxiliary, press 8.
Thank you for calling the Township of Lyndhurst. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Tax Office and Violation Bureau hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are conveniently located at 367 Valley Brook Avenue, at the corner of Delafield Avenue. Please leave a message after the tone. When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
Yeah, hey, Special Operations Department. This is George M. Churchill. I want to volunteer to rescue a child that's been missing. It's in the NCIC database. I know you guys had a sign up on Valley Brook that said volunteers wanted. Well, I'm a volunteer ready to go fucking help. Excuse my language. I'm really hot to help my mother get her granddaughter back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, gone 6 years. Name is Deanna Cantor, Kanter, date of birth 7/29/03. You guys ain't going over there to help. You guys ain't calling over to help. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to find my daughter, and my mom's going to have her granddaughter back in her life. And there's going to be hell to pay if you don't call me back. That's what I'm saying, because the guy told me, no, we don't accept volunteers here, and he hung up on me. Missing child. I said, you could be a hero to Jen Jeruso. I'll call you back. You don't call me back. Call you right back. 15 minutes go by. Doesn't call me back. Somebody else answers the phone. You're all on a take. I'm a little pissed. I want you to deputize me so I can go in there and say, look, I got a gun in the badge. I'm going to rescue a kid. It's been abducted. Why can't you do it? You're supposed to be brave. Bullshit.
You have reached the Lyndhurst Police Department.
Lyndhurst Police Officer Jan Druso.
Yeah, Mr. Jandruso, I just called a little while ago, tried to get hold of you. It's been over 15 minutes. I wanted to volunteer to be deputized and get a gun and a badge so I can go and try to find this kid that's in the database, the NCIC database, missing for 6 years.
That's not something that we would do.
Well, who's going to go over there and help a kid that's missing that their father